Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the middle of September 2021. We are going to jump right in here, Capricorn, and we are going to just do a Celtic cross, and we're going to see what is coming up for you at this time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much everybody has had the Eight of Swords showing up in their reading. Could be we have the retrograde at the end of this month, so it could just be like retrograde energy that is maybe causing people to feel a little bit stuck. And I would just say you'll probably work through it. But in your current present energy, you have the what is this? The Magician. The Magician is a new beginning. I do feel like there is clearly some sort of new beginning, even in your area of the next few months. Here, you have the Page of Pentacles, so. The Page of Pentacles could be a person or whatever, but it could also just be a new beginning. The Magician also asks us to make sure we're using all our tools at our disposal. In the area of your thoughts, you have this Eight of Swords. We're going to talk more about it in just a minute, but it can represent feeling stuck or, feeling trapped. It really represents only looking at one way of doing things. The Magician reminds you that you have mastery over all the suits. You have mastery over everything in front of you. And so it kind of says like, hey, if you're feeling stuck in any area of your life, love, business, money, spirituality, health, whatever, that there are probably other tools or there are better tools that you could be using. And so it just kind of says like, look around and figure that out. Your crossing energy is the King of Pentacles. So again, some of you could be feeling like you don't have the resources necessary to, accomplish something or to get started on some sort of new beginning with the Magician. And what I would say here is that the resources, it doesn't have to be money. It could be other resources as well. Like maybe you feel like you're lacking critical information. You could feel like you're lacking support from people around you. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for all of you. But I do feel like some of you feel that. I also feel like your stability, just like sometimes I feel like if we're wanting to start something, we maybe want to be a little bit more stable in life, or we want to feel stable, or we want to feel like we have something to fall back on. And I kind of get that. It's a weird message because you don't actually have any cards here that would really represent what I'm feeling, but what I'm feeling is like that lack of, like feeling like if you do something, you have nothing to fall back on here, right? That might be for just one of you. Like maybe you're wanting to quit your job and start a business. It's like if you do that, then there's nothing to fall back on here. So I do feel that kind of lack here with this card. In the area of your thoughts, you're not sure what to do here in some area of your life, the Eight of Swords. But the Eight of Swords, this is self-imposed restriction. She's keeping herself stuck, and she could easily set herself free if she just, kind of took the blindfold off. All she has to do is use one of these swords to cut her hands free. Then she could take the blindfold off, and she could see that all she has to do is step forward, and she would be totally free. So I feel for a lot of you, this is about like needing to set yourself free at this time. There's this castle back here on the card. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but the castle can represent like a place of sanctuary. So for some of you, it could say that if you feel like you have nothing to fall back on, that sometimes like maybe it is a better idea to hold on to something that you can fall back on, basically. So like let's say you want to start a business. Maybe it would be a better idea to hustle for a little bit of time, right? Maybe it would be a better idea to keep your job and kind of like work on your business at night so that you can build that up. And then when you get to a certain point, it can say then it's time to move on to the business once you get it built up. Same thing in a relationship, that wouldn't really apply, but what I would say is if this is a relationship for you, the thing that you have to fall back on is yourself, right? I get a lot of comments from people who are like, this relationship left me totally destroyed and like all this drama and stuff like that. I'm like, well, okay, but that's like a personal problem because it's like a relationship shouldn't cripple you, Getting out of a relationship is something that happens to all humans. Do some humans do terrible things to us that hurt our feelings and all this other stuff? Yes, but what I would say here is, and again, I'm not picking on you here if this is you, and I'm not, calling you out or anything like that, but what I would say is a relationship, no matter what someone does to you, shouldn't destroy you. You're allowing that to happen to yourself. So what I would say here is developing some better coping skills, or developing some, inner strength, or some skills necessary to deal with that would be a good idea moving forward if you have been, hurt so badly in past relationships, right? And it's not about like hardening yourself or anything like that, but again, if it's not a good thing if a relationship leaves you totally destroyed, right? We need to develop skills to make sure that doesn't happen again in the future. In the area of your foundation, you have the Page of Wands. Definitely ready. I feel like you're ready to get moving forward. I feel like you're like ready to go on an adventure in your life. It's like you're ready to start something new. And this has come up for, kind of like a lot of people, that people are getting ready to start something. But I feel for you, you're just like ready for an adventure. Even in the area of the past, you have the Seven of Cups here. It's kind of weird because I see things like coming in, like in my head right now, holding this card. It's like you're focused on one thing, but I see things starting to like creep into like my peripheral vision here, Capricorn. So what the hell does that mean? It's like maybe you've had a job for 20 years and it's like maybe you're starting to become aware of like another opportunity, right? It's like something is creeping in to your life here. Same thing in love as well. But it's like I feel for some of you, maybe you have been destroyed by past relationships emotionally, but it's like maybe you're getting to this point where you're like, you know what, maybe it would be nice to experience love again. It's like something is, I kind of get this, not creepy feeling. I get like a creeping feeling. Something is entering like into my awareness, which is weird because really the High Priestess to me is the card of something entering into your awareness. But I'm getting it here where it's like you're starting to become aware of other things. I do feel there is a need for you to focus. It's like there are good things and bad things in these cups, and it kind of says like, number one, he has to pick a good cup, but I'm not getting that meaning for you. I'm kind of getting more, you have to take the good with the bad here with this situation, whatever it is for you. In the area of the near future, you have the Three of Cups. Love it. Definitely a celebration and happiness coming in for you. Three of Cups asks us to focus on joy, but I feel you will be very joyful. I feel like there's a lot of happiness and just good things coming in for you with the Three of Cups. I also feel more, on that Three of Cups, I feel like things are, kind of coming together. These three, I kind of feel like these are three aspects of you. It's like health, wealth, happiness. But maybe it's three different, maybe it's not those three things for you, Capricorn. I just feel like it's like kind of like there are three pieces of a puzzle coming together here, and it's creating like wholeness, like the Holy Trinity, in your life. And I feel this is going to lead to a lot of progress and happiness in your life as well. So I like to see that. Next, in the area of your next few months, you have the Page of Pentacles. So I do feel that there could be new beginnings coming in for you. I do feel like there's a need to not be too nitpicky at this time. Page of Pentacles can be very, very focused on the small details. Seven of Cups, he can be focused too much on the what ifs and, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like all these little tiny little things. And he kind of just wants you to focus more on the big picture. The Page of Pentacles is the card of studiousness as well. So it's like anything that you're learning would be a great idea. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Star. Like I said, I kind of got it here where it's like, it was saying, the message I was getting was like healing relationships, but it's like more like healing yourself, like how relationships affect you, right? And how you deal with like losing a relationship or how you deal with a breakup and things like that. And again, I'm not calling you out here, but again, I feel like you're healing yourself. This is not a bad thing. This is a good thing, Capricorn. It's like you're healing how you experience the end of relationships, and you're experiencing like how you deal with that as well. You're kind of dealing with that. I don't know how to verbalize this, Capricorn, but I feel like it's a good thing because it's gonna improve your relationships in general. I feel like maybe it's just like you are more stable. This represents a compass right here. The Star can represent a compass, and that's like I feel a good representation of the energy. It's almost like you just have a better direction. Like maybe you get out of a relationship, and I feel like things are just a little bit better, where it's like it doesn't totally set you off. It doesn't totally ruin your month, right? If you go through a breakup or something. I feel like you just have better understanding of how to deal with it. A really good card for healing relationships. I do feel for some of you, you could be healing like close relationships, like family, friends, things like that. So if you've had any issues in close relationships, I do feel this could be a healing that is occurring between like you and another person. It just feels like one person to me. So if you're like estranged from a family member or a close friend, I do feel you could be healing with that energy. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Five of Swords. I would definitely focus on building relationships. Five of Swords is, he wants to be alone, right? He wants to do things on his own. So I would definitely say that in the future, you should kind of like focus on, allowing people to help you, Capricorn, which I feel like I say to you all the time. You're always getting these cards of needing to like work with other people. I'm going to clarify that right away, that Five of Swords. Yeah, Five of Cups, too many, Five of Cups is too many disappointments. So for a lot of you in the area of your future feelings, this could say that, maybe people have disappointed you too many times. I was kind of getting that feeling at the beginning of the reading, and, that's why I went on the rant that I went on, right? But what I would say here is I feel like needing to realize that it's like not everybody is like that is what is popping into my head. He needs to turn around and see those two cups. Those two cups will lead to the bridge that leads to the castle. And again, maybe you haven't even been disappointed in love. For some of you, this could be like in work or business. You've been disappointed by people. I really feel like gaining perspective would be a good idea for you at this time. Even at the end here, your outcome is the Temperance card. Temperance reminds us that we are magical. Right? You have the Magician right here. We create our own reality, and he is able to turn any negative into a positive. So I feel for a lot of you, this is really just saying that you could be taking a negative situation and turning it into a positive. It's a much more, it's a much better place to be, is what I would say to you here, Capricorn. Being able is kind of like being able to take something that's super negative and turning it into a positive. It is hard work, right? To turn something from a negative into a positive. I always tell people it is extremely easy to be negative. It doesn't take any creativity. It doesn't take anything, right? So, and to be negative, it's easy. All you have to do is turn on the news, right? And you can be negative. But it's super hard to look at the positive. I always tell people just look at the comments, right? When someone leaves a nasty comment, right? It's always like, oh, you're a butthead, you're a jerk. It's like, it's always the same thing. It doesn't take any creativity. But to be nice, it's like if you look at the nice comments, which a majority of people leave, it's like they're more detailed. There's more to it. And I feel that for you in your personal life here, Capricorn, where I feel like there are a lot of reasons. Seven of Cups. There's plenty of reasons to be negative right now, and I do feel it is hard to be positive. But if you do that, if you turn it around, I feel like you're gonna have a much better outcome here. I want to clarify some of this again with the King of Pentacles, Five of Cups, disappointments. We already know this. Like I said, like lacking some. I do feel like you could feel like you're lacking some resources. I feel like tapping into other talents, gifts, skills, and abilities with the Magician will kind of open that up for you. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Four of Cups and Three of Wands. Major waiting energy. I would say no waiting at this time. I keep telling everybody that if we just look at the astrology, there is this like permission. I call it permission energy. I feel like people are waiting for permission to move forward. I feel like people are waiting for permission to, start their next project or start their next relationship or whatever. It's like the only person that can give you permission right now is you. It's like, everything, like all the all that like Hierophant energy, like the government and any institutions, they're going backwards. they're not moving forwards, right? They're not going to give us permission to do anything. So it's like we have to give in also any authority figures in your life, bosses, mentors, whatever, they're not going to give you permission to do anything. You're going to have to give yourself permission. And I'm giving you permission to do that. Boom. There you go. In the area of your foundation, you have the Queen of Cups, very strong, kind, caring, nurturing energy. So I do feel some of you are kind of like nurturing yourself. I do feel like there are people who want to take care of you as well. In the past, you have the Nine of Cups here. Yeah, not very exciting. Nine of Cups with the Seven of Cups is like contentment. It's like things are okay, but it's just nobody really wants to just be content, right? It's like we all want more, which there's nothing wrong with that. It is my belief that here on Earth we should be creating as much as we possibly can. We are here to create our own reality, and I feel like we should be creating as much abundance, as much fun, love, joy, all those good things as we possibly can at this time, and forever. So I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to create more. With the star here, with your close relationships, you have the Ten of Swords. Like I said, I feel like some of you are healing something that has been, that maybe you thought was dead, done, over with. For some of you, it might be. It's like if you're trying to heal a relationship with a family member, it keeps popping into my head that some of you are clearly healing a relationship with like a family member or someone who's close to you. And if they don't want to change, then sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. But at least I feel you are healing with the star. It's like you're making the decision. I'm not going to give this any more of my mental energy, so I'm going to heal it and move on. If they want to heal it with me, great. So I feel like you're making that decision. A pretty good decision is what I would say to you. With the Five of Swords and Five of Cups, you do have the Three of Swords here. Three of Swords says, number one, don't play the victim. Three of Swords can have those swords in its heart, but the heart is still okay. And the Three of Swords is temporary. So I feel for some of you, this can definitely represent that. It is also a card of forgiveness as well, needing to forgive the past, not for the other person. If you're forgiving a person here, but for you, it's like you're taking the swords out of your own heart with this card by forgiving a situation. Some of you, I do feel like this is a very personal reading because it's like you're forgiving yourself. With the Temperance card, you have the Seven of Wands here. Yeah, I feel in a lot of ways this reading is kind of one of those readings where it is asking to be positive. Seven of Wands, a card of conviction. It says like you will get exactly what you are committed to, right? So it's like if you're committed to positivity and joy and happiness, and if you're committed to creating that, then that is exactly what you will get this month. If you're not, then you won't. So like I said, I feel like your hard work, homework here is to be more positive. It's just that simple. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's free, as I always say. So I would just give it a shot. But this looks pretty good. For most of you, I really feel like you're just, I wouldn't really call this a love reading or anything because I feel like you're more focused on yourself. And again, there's nothing wrong with that this month. I would definitely, that's exactly what I would do if I were you, Capricorn. I would focus on yourself, focus on healing yourself with a star, focus on, creating more joy, more happiness in your own life, and it'll just spill over into other areas of your life. Pretty simple. So, although hard, like I said, it is hard to be positive. Trust me, I get it. And, I'm not going to disagree with that. But I would just like a little bit, right? If you just plant the seed, I feel like it's going to grow into a gigantic tree. But it looks pretty good. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.